लोरीज ऐसे के प्रोसीजर के हवाले से जब हम बात करेंगे, मोर और लेस इट्स प्रोसीजर इज़ सिमिलर टू द बायोरेट ऐसे, लेकिन इसमें थोड़ा सा टाइम हमें ज़्यादा चाहिए होता है बिकॉज हमने इसमें एक एडिशनल स्टेप परफॉर्म करना है दैट इन्वॉल्व्स द रिडक्शन ऑफ फॉलिन्स reagent. So we have to use reagent D as a major solvent, and we need 1 milliliter of this reagent D in the tubes, in the test tubes which we are going to use for the assay. अब यहाँ पे हमें डिसाइड करना है कि if we are going to prepare the standard curve for particular assay so that we can determine the concentration of unknown samples, or we already have prepared a standard curve and we will use that one. We are going to talk about preparation of standard curve, जो हमने पहले भी बात की बायोरेट reagent के हवाले से. हमें मटेरियल और मेथड में BSA की डिफरेंट कंसंट्रेशन वाले सॉल्यूशंस यूज़ किए, सॉल्यूशंस की हमने जो है वो प्रिपरेशन की ताकि हम स्टैंडर्ड कर्व प्रिपरेशन की तरफ जा सकें. So once we have 1 milliliter of reagent D in the test tubes, then the next would be addition of different BSA dilutions in different tubes. 100 microliter of the BSA dilutions are going to be added separately in each tube, and then the second set of the tube will be of these protein samples of unknown concentration. We are going to use the same reagent D in the test tube, and we are going to add the volume 100 microliter, 50 microliter, 200 microliter of that particular protein of unknown sample concentration, protein sample of unknown concentration into those tubes, and we are going to mix it immediately, so that using vertex mixer the proteins are going to be mixed with the reagent D. इसके अलावा एक हमें ब्लैंक के तौर पे ट्यूब यूज़ करनी होती है ताकि जब हम स्पेक्ट्रोफोटोमेट्री की तरफ जाएं वी शुड यूज़ सम liquid as a blank. For that purpose we are going to have a tube which has no BSA, which has no other protein sample added. Simple reagent D is going to be used as the blank against the samples which we are going to determine the concentration. Once we mix this BSA plus reagent D or protein samples plus reagent D, then we have to incubate them for 10 minutes. Leave it at room temperature for 10 minutes. Right after 10 minutes, we add Paulin's reagent to the samples. अब ये एक critical step है. We should add the Paulin's reagent and vertex mix it immediately. अगर हम इसको इस तरह से प्लान करें कि पहले हम हर ट्यूब में Paulin's reagent डालेंगे फिर मिक्स करेंगे, then we are going to create problem. There may be a problem because जैसे कि स्टेबिलिटी के हवाले से बात हुई थी, Paulin's reagent is stable at acidic pH. हमने उसको एक बेसिक pH वाले solution में ऐड किया, and if we don't mix it up, Paulin's reagent is going to be destabilized. So the plan should be like this. As soon as you add Paulin's reagent in one test tube, immediately vertex mix it and then place it on your working bench. In this way, step by step, complete all the tubes by the addition of Paulin's reagent and by the mixing them immediately, and then leave it for 30 minutes at room temperature. So this is the additional time. When we compare this method with the Biorate method, this is the additional time which we have to use for this incubation. So 30 minutes at room temperature is sufficient enough for the Paulin's reagent reduction and development of blue color. So here, if we have more and more protein, there are more and more tyrosine residues, more and more phenolic groups in the tyrosine residues. So the color intensity is going to be different in each sample. And after the 30 minutes incubation, we are going to determine the concentration using the spectrophotometer. Again, we have to use a blank. The blank will be the reagent D without any addition of anything, any protein, any unknown sample. And then that blank is going to be corrected for any absorbance value in the our experimental samples. Once we get the optical densities from the known BSA samples, we are going to draw a standard curve of this protein like we talked in the Biuret assay method. We will draw the best fitted line, the regression line, and the unknown samples concentration is going to be determined from that particular standard curve.